I over exfoliated the shit out of my face. So that's something fun that I'm dealing with. I can see it on my forehead and right here. How did I do that? Shay, how did you do that? By spacing out while I was exfoliating my face. I am officially one of those people that gave St. Ives apricot scrub a bad name by just completely fucking overdoing it and hurting myself. I actually sat down because I'm going to straighten my wig, but instead of using Epps's beard comb, I was gonna use a straightener, except that I haven't used a straightener in fucking years. So I turned it up way too high, and now I'm afraid it's gonna melt my hair. So I'm sitting here, it's trying to track a face behind me. Ah, yay, that makes me feel so good and not scared and freaked out at all. What the f? It's tracking a face right here. Right here. I don't know. Anyways, I haven't used like a regular straightener in years, mostly because I haven't had hair in years. I've just always kind of, and by always I mean over the last couple of years, stolen my husband's beard straightener. And for some reason today I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to be a little quirky and do things a little fucking differently. And by differently, I mean entirely too different. I like to overcomplicate things. I think I'm going to make things a little more difficult on myself than they need to be by using a hair straightener rather than a heated brush. And I sat down to do it and figured out, you know what? Running a hair straightener through hair you have to hold up like this is not as easy as doing it with a heated brush. So now I'm thinking I'm going to have to put the damn thing on and straighten it that way. But because I haven't used the hair straightener in a really long time, I kind of completely and totally fucking underestimated how hot they get. And now I think it's going to melt my plastic hair. So I'm kind of waiting for it to chill the fuck out a little bit because I'm not trying to bake a cake or catch my plastic hair on fire. I'm kind of waiting. Should I turn it off? Because I turned it down, but like logically, does that mean that it's gonna like cool off? Because it's already hot as hell. It's already like problematically hot. Like if I put my hands any higher than this, it's gonna burn the shit out of me hot. Should I just turn it off? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off and let it cool off. And then I'm going to turn it back on and I'm going to let it reheat up to something that won't catch my fucking head on fire. Can you believe we all used to run these over our hair like 9 million times and be like, this is fine? I gotta say, as much as I dyed my hair in high school, I think I did most of the damage to my hair by absolutely frying the shit out of it with a hair straightener. Because like, I think we talked about this before. I remember my sister it was either the late 90s, early 2000s, possibly both, had a fucking hair straightener that you put water in and you ran it across your hair and you could literally hear the shit singeing. You could hear it frying your shit. And don't sit there and argue with me that that was the sound of the water. It was the sound of the water frying the fuck out of her hair. And she was just like, I look so good. And you know what? She did look pretty, but her hair was feeling it. It was fucking feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I just cannot bring myself to get a new wig right now, but I'm kind of starting to look like the goth Lazy Town girl, like the gothic version of the Lazy Town girl. So I've got to do something. I've got to do something to help this bitch out because I'm outright refusing to buy a new wig. Outright refusing to buy a new wig. I've got tons of wigs that I can refresh, and all it's kind of funny how all of the wigs that I have that are in like exceptionally good shape are wigs that I don't feel comfortable wearing all the time. Because you guys know, like I have like a white wig, I have a red wig, I have a green wig, but I'm so uncomfortable wearing them because they kind of like jar me when I see myself in them. If I was used to them, I wouldn't think anything of them, but I'm not. So when I see myself in them, I'm like, I'm a little uncomfortable. So my best wigs right now, my wigs that are in the best shape are all the ones that I'm uncomfortable in. So we're going to try to fucking salvage the ones that I am comfortable in to save me some money. Yeah? We're being frugal. we're being frugal bitches. I don't know anything about hair straighteners. How much do I turn this up or down or whatever? Okay, it goes on a scale from 1 to 30. So what if I put it on like 20? I don't know if that's still going to be too high, but we will find out if my hair catches on fire or melts, and then I ruin the only wig I have right now that I really, really, really adore and want to wear every day and all the time, and I wish it was my real hair. Risking it for the fucking biscuit, I guess. Woo. I guess I could try it on a different wig, but my other wigs don't have this texture. They're not this wig. And different wigs, you know, are different. I'm also like weirdly concerned about the fact that when I'm wearing this, I can't see the back of my head to like, oh yeah, that distinct smell of heated plastic hair. If you know, you know. Like, I can't see the back of my head, but also at the same time, like, what's happening on the back of my head is none of my business. I can't tell if the ends of my wig are singeing or if it's just that they're matted and I'm putting heat over them. So it just kind of feels like they are because they're kind of like clumping together, you know? You know? This doesn't have to be as difficult as I'm making it out to be. What if I just straighten the sides and I take the approach of if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. That includes the sides of my head, just not just the back. Also the sides. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist and it doesn't affect me, and don't fucking bring it up. How about I take that approach with my wig right now, because this is proving to be a lot bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was gonna be. Why is it so difficult? Oh my god. As you can tell, I've given up on wearing the wig and straightening the back. I didn't care. I didn't care about the back and the sides, but you know what? It would take my husband following me around with a camera for a vlog for me to see the back of it and just go into a full-on crisis. Have you ever seen a picture or a video of the back of you and thought, oh my god? Well, we're going to cushion the blow of that at least a little bit. Yeah, at least slightly. I honestly don't know how good or how bad I did. When you brush it, it all looks good, and then you put it on your fucking head, and you simply breathe and exist. You don't even have to move for 2.8 seconds, and the bitch is tangled. Welcome to having fake hair. I kind of am thinking that turning that up to 20 was not enough, so I'm gonna put it on 25. The 30 was way too fucking hot. The 30 was so hot it was burning my hand. So I'm not putting it all the way on 30. I'm not baking a fucking cake. I don't need to heat it up that hot. But I'm feeling a little brave. Testing the limits a little bit here. This is like so much more fucking difficult than it should be. And I have been wearing wigs since high school. When am I ever gonna get good at stuff? You know? So it's not done yet, but I decided to put like my little knickknacks as I come across them on the top, and then on the second shelf If you guys remember from Christmas time, my grandma gave me this Santa and she gave me this angel, and they're very important to me, so I put them on the top. And there's only going to be nice and lovely things with them. They are a good vibes only shelf. I can't much say the same about this shelf. From across the room, she kind of looks like she's having a little bit of a crisis, and I would absolutely believe it. But, you know, we have Pearl's creepy ass right here. I got this when I was in high school, and I don't know how it has survived. I actually bought it from the Dollar Tree when I was in high school. And yeah, it's heavy as hell, and he's still here, so there he is. This shelf is absolute chaos. Yeah, it's probably my favorite one too. And then I've got some of my babies down here, and there is like layers to them. And then I put her over here by her, and she kind of makes my nose feel like it's gonna start bleeding, and so does she, so I'm hoping they don't like not like each other or whatever, or like make my life hell. But I'm also thinking about moving Mark, who is him, over here with the other dolls that aren't having negative energy or whatever. I think that Mark would thrive beside this soulless looking blonde bitch, you know. Star, this one, he's been moved from there. He was there, now he's here, because he's been falling off and or being knocked off of that shelf a lot this week, and I just wanted to get him out of the way. And a lot of my dolls still have price tags on them, so a lot of this stuff is just like knickknacks that I've had for years that I just haven't lost. You know what I mean? Like, do you have stuff that you just like actively don't go out of your way to like keep track of, but it just like you just find it and you just have it? You know what I mean? And this isn't, I still have a lot more I need to put up. I have a lot of stuff that I need to hang back up on the wall. I took a lot of it down, and then I also want to have Epps put some stuff on the top there. There's not a lot of space left, but I'm a maximalist, so oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so cute. It really does feed my maximalist soul. It really fucking does. Just like that. Feeds my maximalist soul. And this. And this. There's not gonna be an... They need to not do that. I don't feel good. They're gonna knock the will to do anything right out of me by interrupting me. Don't do that. Anyways, I do not feel good. And I thought it was because I slept like shit last night. Now I kind of think I might have a little bit of a fever. But last night, I could not fall asleep. I fell asleep somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I don't know if I actually slept or if I did the thing where you're like half awake, half asleep. Maybe you might have. Maybe you were like in a twilight state the whole time thing. You know what I mean? And then I gave up around 10. And I felt okay when I first got up. And then I hit a wall at about 3 p.m. and I told myself I'm not going to lay down and take a nap because I absolutely do not want to mess up my sleep cycle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to lay down at 3 and wake up at, 10, 11 o'clock at night and officially have my sleep cycle reversed, which I don't really fucking have a sleep cycle. Like, it just kind of does whatever it wants to do, because my circadian rhythm is upset. Like, it swings wildly, but I could not fucking fall asleep. And, yeah, I feel like shit, and I thought that maybe that was why I felt like shit, but now I kind of think that I might be getting a fever, but it also could be because I was up doing stuff and shut the AC off so it wouldn't taint my audio. It might be that, but it doesn't feel like that. So hopefully I'm not getting like sick. But I have several things that I want to talk about. Some of them more lighthearted than others. Some of them, silly, goofy, some of them more serious, and me just kind of like venting because I really don't have anyone. Epps listens to me talk about these things, but, all he knows is he just watches me deal with them, but he's never like been there. And I know that I have seen a lot of you in my comments and stuff tell me that you've dealt with the crazy shit too. So, I want to talk about it. So let's start with last night. So Epps and I stayed in, and he ended up putting on some show on Netflix that was like a fake ghost hunting show. It was like these people stayed in like a haunted house for like 30 days. And the whole point of them being there was for them to like set the spirits free. We watched the whole series. And I was trying to not laugh because I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be funny or not, but it was absolutely fucking hilarious. I do remember there was a lady named Brandy and a guy that sounded like Forrest Gump. And they were in a house with a guy who unalived his whole family. And then like his daughter's spirit was haunting the house, and there was a lot of grunting and him thinking that he was being possessed. And I personally thought that it was hilarious, but I don't know if it was supposed to be, so I felt kind of bad laughing at it. And I believe in these things. You guys know me. I'm a chicken shit when it comes to that type of stuff. I won't even go into the basement without my 11-year-old, okay? I wouldn't stay in the garage and let Epps shut the door so we can make a scary video. But I am a skeptic. I am a what do you call a believer who is skeptical of things like this? Because that's me, and I was fucking howling. And then Epps went to bed, and I just laid here and rolled around. I could not fall asleep. I could not fall asleep. I did everything that I could to try to fall asleep except take medication, because I had a guy message me on Facebook Messenger yesterday and asked me if he could message me today at 1 p.m. about a Nightmare Before Christmas backpack purse that I had listed. So I didn't want to take any sleeping medicine and then do what I did yesterday and oversleep when I was supposed to meet somebody. So I just kind of sucked it up. But the guy ended up not messaging me at all. Like, he didn't even get a hold of me. So that was a waste. I probably should have just went ahead and did it and seen if Epps would meet him, because he would. Epps would meet him if I asked him to. But also, okay, so last night it had been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because Epps was asleep. My phone goes off and I look at it, and it is an email from Gmail telling me that I had a shipping label ready because somebody had just bought something. Great, that's fine. And then I just roll over, and I'm still trying to go back to sleep, and my phone goes off again, and it is a message on Depop. Now, mind you, this is anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes later. And it's the same girl who just bought this tiny little crop top from me. And she said, hey, there's something else that I want in your shop, but I don't want to pay shipping for it because I'm already paying shipping for the crop top. Would there be any way that you could take the shipping fees off for me? And I told her, I have had people buy multiple things from my shop before, and Depop would automatically charge them the shipping for the largest item instead of shipping for each individual item. But I didn't do that. They did. and that I didn't know if her buying things several minutes apart from each other instead of, browsing and then checking out all at once, like most people do. I don't know if they'll do that for you because these are two completely separate orders. So she rephrases her question to me. Will you knock $7 off of my order if I buy something else so I don't have to pay for the shipping? When I tell you I don't know if it was the lack of sleep, I don't know that if it was that I was hungry, I don't know if it was that I was frustrated, but I went in and I refunded her the money for the crop top. I didn't say a word back to her. I refunded her the money for the crop top, and then I blocked her. I made sure that her refund went through, and then I blocked her. Because the problem is, I ship via Shippo, which is Depop shipping. The problem is, she paid for shipping for a tiny little crop top. So anything else in my shop that she could potentially buy would more than double the weight of that package. And then what would end up happening is she would get it in the mail and the USPS man would stand on her porch and say, you got to pay the difference. You didn't pay for all the shipping. And then she would take it out on me. And I know that I have seen a couple of you in my comments say that you left Depop over these types of things. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I've got 2 or 3 things to throw in the mail tomorrow. I feel like I can't handle this. I feel like, I mean, it's like, what do you think I'm going to say? I rephrased that question. I asked the same question, but I rephrased it to try to talk circles around you. I would be losing money. Not only that, and this is probably nitpicky and probably a little bit Karen of me, but every weekend I mark my shop down anywhere between 15 to 50% off everything. And this particular crop top, Monday through Friday is $20. She was already getting it for $10. And then she wanted something else. And there's not really a lot of other things in my shop that are not bulky. So I'm thinking, you're going to get that in the mail and they're going to charge you for the rest of the shipping. And then you're going to leave me a bad review for it. So I blocked her. I refunded her money and I blocked her. And I laid there awake. Lied? I don't know, awake. And I just thought of just how over the last week and a half, I've just had thing after thing after thing after thing happen. I currently am waiting for USPS to return me the bra that they tried to charge the girl $23 to complete the order. I'm waiting for them. I already refunded her money and I'm waiting. She's like, what do? Do I go back and tell them I don't want it and return it to him? I said, they'll eventually just send it back. If you have a package waiting at the post office and you don't go pick it up, they'll return it to sender. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. And then my intention is to mail it back to her for free and let her keep it for her troubles because that's bullshit. But then, I was thinking about that girl that was pestering me not that long ago and I had to block her as well. And just stuff like that. And I'm just like, is any of this worth it? Is any of this worth it? I am doing this to make ends meet. I am doing this to make ends meet. And the stress that it causes me, it's just like, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It should be so easy. And none of that would have been a thing. I wouldn't have had to worry about any of that if the girl would have just added everything she wanted to her cart and checked out, rather than panic buying something, probably because a lot of people had it in their cart. Honey, these things have been in people's carts for weeks. They're probably not going to buy them. I have shit in my cart I want. It's probably not going to get bought, She probably panic bought the crop top that she bought because she thought somebody else was going to snatch it out from underneath of her. But, most people add everything that they want to their cart and then they check out, But all of that would have been avoided if she would have just done that. And I've really, 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 really had it with people asking me for measurements. I can't do it. I can't do it. I struggle with math. I struggle with numbers. This is something we have talked about a lot, especially on my lives. I struggle with math a lot. I struggle with measurements. If you asked me to show you with my fingers how long an inch is, I couldn't. If you asked me to lift up my hands and show you how far a foot is, I couldn't. I struggle with these things. And in the past, I have bent over backwards until my fucking back broke to get people information about a product, the measurements. Can you send me a picture of this? Can you take it outside and take a picture of it in this lighting? All these different things. Could you look up the fiber blend? Could you do this? Could you do that? And I have done it only for them to not buy the item. 9 times out of 10, they don't even say thank you. They just stop talking to you. And it's just like, I refuse. I refuse to do that much, to put up with that for the like $8 I'm going to get for that shirt. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just that I have PMS. I don't know that if it's just that I haven't slept. But every fucking part of me just wants to be done. Every part of me wants to be done. But then I think how much money I've made, and how many times my Depop money and my Facebook Marketplace money have swooped in and saved my ass. It makes it hard to walk away, and it's probably 8 out of 10 interactions are fine. It's just those few that are bad that make you want to walk away. And then I'm trying to think of how to talk about this without sounding bitchy. So you guys know what a choosing beggar is, right? It's like somebody that wants something for free and they try to manipulate you into giving it to them. I dealt with that today. It was my first one I ever had on Facebook Marketplace. She tried to tell me that she knew some kid with brain cancer and she would love to give her that backpack, but she doesn't have any money. And it's just like, what? And I did a little bit of research. And found out that she does this a lot to people. And then further found out that a lot of times the things that people give her for free, she turns around and goes right back to Facebook Marketplace and sells them again. So like the things she got for free, she turns around and she sells them. And I was like, thank God for the block button. Thank God for the block button. But, yeah, what was another thing that I wanted to tell you guys? Oh, it was the thing about my camera. So that's some good news. This camera that I got from that girl on Facebook Marketplace, the one that I traded her clothes and stuff for, I got this, and the lens is only holding on. There's a little tiny thing right here. That's the only part of the lens that's not broken, right there. And last night, I got this. I was looking all over Amazon for how much a lens would be to replace this. And my God, at that point, you may as well just buy a new camera, especially when you could get something in the mail and it just not even work, So I'm sitting there. I'm like looking up all this stuff online. Everybody's like, oh, don't even bother. Just buy a new camera, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bitch. I didn't even buy this one. I fucking traded shit for it. So I had this big brain idea. I had this big idea in my big brain that I was going to use 3M tape. You guys know what 3M tape is? Hardcore. I was going to use 3M tape. And I was going to stick little chunks of it right here, and right here at the top. And I was going to slowly put my camera, because 3M tape, once it's on, it's on. I was going to slowly stick it on there, and then I was going to twist it really fast and lock it into place and push it down, and it worked. It worked. The lens is on, and I have not had any error messages ever since. It may only be a temporary fix, but it works for now. It works. I cannot fucking believe that harebrained scheme worked. Because everything that I saw online was like, don't tape it on, just get a new camera. Well, hookers, some of us are fucking broke. Some of us are poor. And we have to MacGyver things in our life. And I did it. I put 3M tape on there and I just slammed that hooker down and twisted it and it fucking worked. It fucking worked. I haven't had an error message since. I wanted to go outside and play with it in the natural light to see what it would do. But I was just too tired. And it was actually a really shitty day today. It was super, super rainy. And it wasn't cold, but it was super rainy and super gray. So I was just stuck in the house rotting. And I looked at apps and I was like, let's put that shelf up. So that's what we did. But I hit a wall at about 3 p.m. and just wanted to go to bed. And I decided to not. I think I have a fever, which is the coolest fucking thing that's happened to me in a really long time. It's the coolest thing that's happened to me in a really long time. I accidentally hit my button too early. But I'm going to go. There's not going to be an intro in the beginning of this video because I left some stuff out. I don't have it in me to edit right now. I'm sorry. I feel like my eyeballs feel like sandpaper. I'm so tired. And as soon as I get this exported and uploaded, I can go to bed. And that's exactly what the fuck I'm going to do. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow, boy.